goonery session is done. It's time for a haircut.
Cold-blooded finisher. You know what I'm saying?
You need to see the ice trader again in the dealership soon.
Feeling like a Richard Bowler, I'm really ballin'. Got 'em callin', they really callin'. My rolling flooded like New Orleans, just like New Orleans. Ain't talking money, what you talking? My probably wouldn't speak if you ain't talking money.
Peace, though.
What's happening?
What's the key life, man?
I'm somebody for 2 o'clock.
What's the time now?
You got me feeling like Rich Porter. I got them selling work, we got them. Ain't got them. If he ain't tested, I don't trust him. He probably told. Down out your homie, seen them statements. He got exposed. He ran in with the. I put the on the jet and bring the to winners. I been that new thing through your blood. I see you looking.
70% higher on me taking your bang. You know what I'm saying? Okay, get them on now.
Must invite them plenty. In the building. Mr. Nam King, catch me.
King Fisto. Yes. What's up, everybody? This is Wallo, and welcome to the first episode of the Liquid Wealth Trading Sessions. Now, for most of you that don't know me, I've been trading for about 3.5 years now. I've completed a degree in Bachelor's in Business Administration, and basically the purpose of these sessions is to provide you with a better understanding of the history of Forex, and to also just give you a little bit of assistance and guidance with regards to fundamentals as well as technical analysis. So we're going to jump into the beginnings of Forex, basically where Forex came from, how it exists in our daily lives, how we can use this platform to better our lives. As you might know or might not know, before there was currencies, people in the world used to trade using the bartering system, right? Now the bartering system was based on trading a number of different things in order to basically satisfy whatever you needed most at that current time. So for instance, if you're thirsty and you needed this glass of juice right here, and for instance you had something that I needed at that time, maybe you had a chicken because I was hungry, you could swap the glass of juice for the chicken, both parties are happy, and that's basically the bartering system, right? Now back in the day, farmers used to keep account of their stock, right? So their cattle, their chickens, their sheep, whatever livestock they had. And basically they used to keep account of this livestock. Basically, a lot of farmers used to use their stock to barter with other farmers or with other people in other industries to assist with certain operations that needed to be done. The reason why I'm explaining this is because before we had the foreign exchange market, we had the stock market first, right? And this is basically where majority of the things we're going to be learning are derived from the stock market, and we're going to be applying it to the foreign exchange market, right? So we understand the bartering system, we understand the stock system, or just a little bit because it was an introduction, I didn't go into too much depth. Now we need to understand currency, and where does currency come from, what were its beginnings, right? Now, currency began with the gold standard. So back in the day, when people were tired of the bartering system, different countries, different nations started formulating their own currency. The reason why it's called currency is because it represents flow of money. So current basically is a synonym for flow. Okay, so we've got currency, flow of money, right? And we have something called the gold standard. Now what the gold standard was basically all the money that was in the market or within a certain area had a physical attachment to gold, right? And this is what then actually assisted in providing value for specific currency. So if the currency was attached to a specific amount of gold, that currency would have a value. If it was not attached to a specific resource or commodity, the currency would have no value. It would actually be a fiat currency. So that's basically when the whole existence of currency came into play after having a shift from the bartering system. Okay, so we've got the stock market and then we have the foreign exchange market. Now, I just want to give you a little breakdown between what's the difference between trading stocks and trading currencies. The stock market is valued, or let's take a particular stock or share, let's say Facebook. And let's say Facebook is priced at $100 per share, right? Facebook is priced in dollars because it's an American company, right? So that means if a lot of people start buying Facebook, the value of that share would go up by a certain amount of dollars, right? So you are not in a situation where you have to look at too many different things. We're just looking at one specific stock. Now the difference with a currency is a currency cannot be valued by its own currency. For example, Facebook is priced in dollars, but what are dollars priced in? Dollars are priced in other currencies. So the only way we can actually measure the value of the dollar is to compare it against a whole bunch of other currencies. Okay, now as much as the stock market and the currency market are different, there are some similarities. This is where we can find the similarities between the two. Facebook is a company, and how we value the company is through the value of its share. When it comes to currencies, currencies are actually shares, but these are shares that belong to a country. So, let me give you an example. We have South Africa. Our current president right now is Cyril Ramaphosa, and I'm not entirely sure who the Minister of Finance and all of those other things are. But basically the CEO of this company called South Africa is Cyril Ramaphosa. And everybody involved in Parliament would basically create your board of directors. And the rand is actually the share that represents the company which is called South Africa. I hope that makes a little bit of sense to you. So, if we want to value the company which is called South Africa, we need to look at the value of its share, which is the rand. And the only way we can compare the value of a currency is to compare it against a basket of other different currencies. You'll learn more about this in further episodes.